The Yellow Rose by Elspeth Awake. A few years ago I read The Secret. It's a book about the law of attraction. If you haven't read it, the premise is we manifest our desires by believing we already possess them. I decided to test the law of attraction by manifesting something in my life, something unusual that I would love. After a lot of pondering, I decided on one yellow rose. I figured that even if someone gave me flowers, they wouldn't be yellow roses. I didn't tell anyone about my experiment because I didn't want anyone to make me doubt or to help me. Several times each day, I imagined I already had my yellow rose. I saw the delicate edges of the petals jeweled with morning dew. I heard and felt the soft brush of the flower against my skin. I inhaled the fragrant scent. I felt the prick of thorns as I held the stem. As days passed, I was eager to learn how I would receive my rose. Of course, I half expected my partner would gift me with flowers, but I tried to push expectation of the source out of my mind and just feel confident the universe would bring me what I desired in whatever way it thought best. That somehow that yellow rose was already mine. One morning at work, a woman said she'd had a surprise this morning. She moved into a new home during winter, and now that springtime had arrived, her plants were blooming, and she was finding out each day what new plants were in her yard. This morning, the rose bush by her front door was covered in beautiful yellow roses. Of course, my heart leapt. Was this my rose? But she hadn't brought any flowers to work, so I didn't have a rose in my hand like I'd imagined. And after all, this rose wasn't mine. It belonged to her. I felt upset and hurt as I processed what had happened. Was this a near miss that brought what I wanted to someone else? Was this as close as the universe could bring me to what I desired? I didn't make a big deal about her roses, and I still didn't say anything about my experiment. This woman is the most pragmatic person I know. She's not religious and doesn't harbor any New Age beliefs, and if I mentioned The Secret, she'd probably dismiss it as nonsense. I decided the universe was just confused, and I decided to redouble my effort. I focused on the rose being in my hand. A dozen times through the day, I imagined I was already holding the yellow rose in my hand. I needed my rose to actually be in my hand before I'd believe the law of attraction was working. I started to get excited again about where my rose would come from. The next morning I was at my desk with my eyes closed and my palm open, thinking about having a yellow rose in my hand. I felt something slip into my hand. I opened my eyes to see a picture of one perfect yellow rose, the petals glistening with morning dew. I sat in stunned silence as the woman from the day before explained that she woke up feeling compelled to take a picture of the rose. She even dug out her printer to make a photo because she wanted so much to show me the flower. There are a few women in my office, and I was the only one she showed the photo to. I hadn't acted excited about the roses when she talked about them the day before, and no one in the office had asked for a picture. At this point, I was sure this was my rose. Of course, it wasn't a real rose, but after hearing about the rose bush the day before, I had changed my focus from having a rose I could feel and smell to the most important thing being a rose in my hand. And I had a rose in my hand, so I couldn't deny the universe had given me exactly what I'd asked for, and from an unlikely source. The experience with my rose made me realize how important I am. How what I think and wish for and desire is actually manifesting in my reality. It also scared me because I wondered how my self-depreciating thoughts affect my life. It said that you better be careful what you wish for, and now I know why. I'm not saying that I plan to sit around, make wishes, and expect a pile of gold to show up. Of course, I'll take opportunities when they come, make connections with people when it feels right, and some things require a lot of practice and training. But now I know the universe is on my side, and when I keep what I desire most in my heart, and I know it's already mine, my path is evident and I feel harmony on my journey.